Okay, hello everyone and welcome back to World of Tanks Blitz. We're going to be here in the Doom Turtle for 4 different replays as a sort of feature-length bumper edition of the Doom Turtle, which I must admit I'm not enjoying as much as I thought I would. Now, the Doom Turtle is different to the T95 in some ways, but at the same time I don't think it's doing very well as being better than the T28. Sorry for me, because the T28 at tier 8 I felt was doing better than this thing at tier 9, even though it is the famous Doom Turtle. And these are the only 4 good games that I've had in this tank, at least good enough games. So this is kind of like a stock Doom Turtle experience. I've got the 120mm which I unlocked on the T28. Because in my review of the T28 I recommended unlocking the top 120mm, because otherwise you'd be stuck with that 105mm at tier 9, which has got like 200 pen, whereas this thing's got 50mm more and does more damage and is generally an all-round better gun. Because that would be even worse than how I'm having to drive the Doom Turtle now. And as you can see, the engine power being really slow. I've even got, you can sort of see down here, I've also got both the premium engine power boosty sort of things, the improved fuel and the extra fuel, and I also have a crate of cola, and this is the top speed of it. This is my mobility in this, with 2 rather costly boosters installed, or consumables rather installed. That was a heat round off of that STB. So you've got a Jagdtiger, you've got a Tiger 2, an E75 over there, and all of this time that I've been waffling on, I have yet to actually do anything. There's also that IS-3, and I am now about to fire my first shot of the game about a minute and a half in, because this thing is just so slow. If you don't get to a good position, you will die, or have absolutely no good game at all. So, put a shot into the Jagdtiger, bounce a shot off the IS-3, you got the E75 looking for me, but I'm going to kill off that Jagdtiger before I do anything. Bang, there you go. Get out that dangerous tier 9 tank destroyer. And, well, now I'm going to sort of like beat up this IS-3, because he's only an IS-3, he's not as much problem as the E75 for me. He bounces a shot off me and I can get through his pike hull armour easily enough. E75 misses, and now he's trying to manoeuvre, but there's so many tanks around here that I just put a shot right into the front part of his tank. And the ST1, I felt guilty about this, but the ST1 I later find out as I finish off the E75 is stuck. I can't show you, but he is stuck. He fell off at an awkward angle, and there you go. I'm stuck, he says. So, the poor guy. And if I was in any sort of fast vehicle, I would help him. But I'm in a Doom Turtle, as it happens. By the time I turn around, the game will be over. So, lose my track, bounce 2 shots, and then I smack against the building and bounce off the frontal armour of that Tiger 2. So instead, I go for the Super Pershing. The Tiger 2 damages my main gun. I don't like that much. I keep on bouncing shells. This is one of the only good times I've bounced shells in this thing. My gun luckily doesn't mess up as I finish off that as I finish off the Super Pershing. We come around the side. There's the Tiger 2. Someone else finishes him off, and well, it's just the standard B left. I think it is. Yeah, standard B. And I'm not going to get a shot into him. I do not believe. And that's kind of the end of my game. As we just skip to the end, there's the standard B. We spot him as I'm driving down there, so I instead turn around. I don't bother repairing my gun. I think I get 1 or 2 attempted shots at him. Along he comes. I slowly aim. That shot would have hit if he'd gone out a little bit more, I reckon, but he didn't. As it happens, he gets smacked by someone, and then I put 1 shot which goes into the ground. Again, that could have hit him and I could have got a little bit more damage. The ST1 has finally freed himself after having to sit out of the battle for a while. Poor guy. But there you go. I load up my HE and bang, 1 nice shot into his rear for nearly 500, and the ST1 finishes him off. So it wasn't a complete loss for him. The poor guy. But still, 3,600 damage done. That was a first class and a top gun with 6,000 XP. and I only made 6,690 credits after all of the repairs and resupplies had been done, because as you can see, top of the team on everything. I got over 12,000 XP, which I was very excited about. There's that poor ST1, that was the only damage he did that game, poor guy. That was a bit of a wasted victory for him, but still 13 shots fired, 11 hits, 10 pens. Got 7 hits received, 3 of them pens but not technically, and then 4 non-pens that just bounced off. And as you can see, the credits really come from the provision resupply as well as my camo a little bit. But mostly the ammo and the provisions are the thing that drags you down with this tank, because if you want to get anywhere, again, like the T98, you want to have these provisions mounted, which is the improved fuel and standard fuel and improved fuel for a total of 13% extra to engine power and turret traverse. Because even without them, this thing is slow. Even with them, it is slow and unmanoeuvrable. And I'll show you the next game now, where I actually have a fairly decent result in this. So here we are on Dead Rail. I have still got the stock suspension on this thing, so I have not got the upgraded tracks. So this is with the top engine, because it's the same engine as is on the T28. I have got the second best gun, which is the 120, and the stock tracks, which have got a slower traverse speed, I think, and worse terrain resistance. But still, we're here on Dead Rail. I'm wondering what to do, and I decide I'm going to go all the way over to base A, and this is actually a good game. And I'm going to go all the way to the traditional tank destroyer spot, so I'm going to need to waffle a while as we drive there, because, well, nothing much happens whilst we drive there. So this thing, you want to get to a good sniping position, because it's technically an assault tank. I'm just checking the gun elevation there. This thing's technically an assault tank, but because of those massive cupolas, it doesn't really quite work as an assault tank. But it does work rather well as a sniper, because you can get up to a place where that Tiger 2 is, for example. You can get up to a good position like that, and you do actually get some fairly decent results. And I'm happy that I haven't spent all of this time to get down here and find out there's one tank over here, and it's a medium and it runs away. No, we've actually got quite the collection of tanks down here. We've got the heavy tanks, we've got the Leo Prote, there's that really slow, terrible power to weight limit, as I struggle to get up there. And, well, I just sort of roll around the corner, I park up, and I start putting shots into people. Bang! Shot straight into the AMX, damage his ammo rack and his track. He tries to put a shot into me, and then, yeah, it doesn't work. The Leo Prote is probably looking for shots on me. There we go. Bounce a shot. Bounce another 2 shots, one of which is from the the waffle, and I only actually take 1 penetrating shot there, which I was quite happy about. So obviously they know I'm here. No surprise there. There's that T30, go for the lower glaciers, bang, nice shot in. The only good thing about having this gun over the 105 is the faster reload. You can get slightly more damage out, but the actual alpha is not that great. Luckily though, the IS-8 manages to finish him off. There's that waffle that put a shot into me. 640 bounce from the object, I think it is. I load HE and bang, 514 into the waffle. Very nice, very nice. Then the IS-3 comes rolling around the corner looking for shots on me, but I'm backing it up at this point because, well, you know, big old cupolas, and there's an object looking for me. There's the IS-3, don't really have shots on. I'm going for those little cupolas, but yeah, doesn't quite work out. There's that waffle again, and there's the object that put a shot into me. He's turned to deal with a different threat. I'm thinking about high explosive, but then no, I just default back to the good old armour piercing. Waffle is dead. There's a Lorraine over there. We've got the IS-3 over there. And the object I can get through his frontal armour fairly alright, but now I've sort of run out of people, and then there's Lorraine. So can we hit him? No, we can't. The shot goes sailing right over his turret, and he finishes off our Leo Prote. I can hit him with HE, and then he turns away, and then I miss anyway. So that was a complete waste of my time by doing that. And then we're aiming up for another shot on him, and that one actually manages to penetrate the front of his tank. Took me 3 shots to do 400 damage. and then he gets out of the way just before I can hit him again. Still looking for people. There's only 3 of them left. All of them are over here. Put a nice shot into the object. It's a very satisfying gun when you actually land a shot with this 120. That one bounces off of the stupid gun manlet of the object, who knows I'm over here and he knows I'm the one shooting at him. The Lorraine's dead. It's just the IS-3 in that object, and I'm thinking, do I get off the hill? Do I stay on the hill? IS-3 comes rolling around the corner, but not far enough. And the Lurver is just going to charge him down, so he's not going to poke himself around the corner for me. As we can see, all of this red miss, hit the AMX 50-100. I'm hoping he doesn't pop out, but he doesn't. The Lurver's pushing, and he's being outflanked, and, well, the object's dead, and that's the end of my game. I don't get any more shots in to the target as down he goes. So, yeah. That was the second alright game. It was only a 3rd class mastery, so it wasn't an outrageously amazing game. The Lurver beat me in terms of damage. I was sort of mid. I was 3rd on the team in terms of XP, but I did bounce about a whole bunch of shots, and this thing works well at range because of its thick armour, and the big old cupolas get slightly smaller when it's at range, but still. So yeah, damaged the ammo of that 50-100. We managed to get that nice shot onto the waffle with the HE, and yeah, this thing does well in the traditional sniping spots, but it's as to whether you can get up there before the battle's over, which not always. And even after 3,000 damage, I only just made a profit, and that was on a fairly decent game for this thing. You know, 4,500 XP, nearly 33,000 credits, but after repair and resupply. Well, if I'd have shot just one more shell or taken one more bit of damage, I would have made a net loss on that game for 3k. So yeah, you gotta remember that. So the 3rd game, I have got the upgraded tracks for. I've got the upgraded tracks for this and the next game that you'll see after this, the final one, and we're going to be going on Castilla. And I still don't know what to do on Castilla with the Doom Turtle. But I end up deciding to go to where all the heavy tanks go, which is where that Tiger II is facing over there. And as I spawn into the battle late as usual, I'm going to head right up on that hill. With, I think, do we have a Yarg Tiger on this game? Yes, we do. I'm going to go up there with the Yarg. Whilst the SU-152 sort of heads forwards, and a different heavy tank is spotting them all the way over there. So I'm going to go up to where that Yarg Tiger is, because again, this thing does well as a traditional sniper. It's as to whether you can get there quick enough to do any damage. And well, as you can see, that Yarg Tiger's been there for a while, and it's also a heavy tank destroyer, but this thing is super heavy and it only goes at 20 kilometers an hour, so yeah, look at me crawling up the hill at 6 kilometers an hour. Luckily though, none of them have tried pushing. The SU is getting shot to pieces over there by all of the other tanks. He really should not have poked around that corner. So instead I decide to go and sit in the bush, as the Yarg Tiger also decides to go and sit in the bush. There's another object, 704. Bang, nice shot into his side. Allows the Tiger to blow off his tracks and the Yarg Tiger to do some decent damage. In comes a T-49, which I get a good shot in. And so does the Yarg Tiger. And me and the Yarg Tiger, we've got a pretty good kill zone over here now. Hornet's in cover, so I go for the object, and there's that stupid, annoying, trolly frontal gun mantlet. But instead, there is a Tiger II there, so I put a shot into him. Yarg Tiger, I think, is going to put a shot into him. There he goes. The Tiger II bounced off of him, and he's now backing around the corner. But I put one more shot into his side, and the Yarg probably finishes him off. Oh no, the King finishes him off. There's that M103 though. Rolls around the corner, Yarg Tiger bounces off him. I put a nice shot into the IS-8. I do like shooting at the fronts of IS-8s because those pike noses are not as invulnerable as many people think. Hornet, I'm still keeping an eye on, because the longer our King survives down there, the more chance we have of having people spotting over there. So the King is still going for the Hornet. I fail at my shot. The Yarg Tiger's jumped down because he's being shot to pieces from sitting up here. He's now looking for the Hornet. He gets spotted by the M103. I fire a shot. Luckily I wasn't scoped in, so I was lucky that shot hit. There's that object again, looking to kill off someone here, and the object is the one. Hornet bounces off the Yarg Tiger. IS-3 comes rolling around the corner, manages to put a shot into me. There's that Hornet though. Unfortunately, I only blow off his track, and I was very upset about that. However, they have now been outflanked, so the Hornet gets finished off, the M103 comes rolling around the corner, allows me to put a shot into him, and the Yarg finishes him off. No, he doesn't, the T-54 finishes him off, the Yarg is still holding. And I'm not going to get any shots here, so I decide to move because I realise the team is outflanking them. They're not going to roll around that corner anymore. So I decide to charge as fast as I can in the Doom Turtle. The Yarg finishes off the IS-8, and well, it's just that Lorraine left, and the T-54 and the Panther II are going to be rolling after him, so I'm just going to skip until after I'm all the way on top of this hill to not get any shots into him because they all finish him off, because welcome to the late game phase of playing in the Doom Turtle. As soon as the battle starts rolling forwards again, that's it, your battle's over, so you better have enjoyed that middle bit. So again, that was just over 3,000 damage. I didn't have a ×5 booster or anything, this was only a ×2 game. 1800 XP, 31,000 credits, however I did make a slight profit. Again, that is coming from the provisions, and I fired off slightly less ammo this time, one less shot than the previous game. And yes, I could be making a higher net rating if I didn't have these provisions. However, you need them to actually get anywhere in this tank. So yeah, we received the one hit from the IS-8, which was a pen, but still 11 shots fired, 10 hits, 9 direct pens, which was nice, just over 3,000 damage. I got some assistance from the Yarg, who is, where is he, 3rd on the team, so well done to him with his 1 kill, same as me. And yeah, so as you can see, again, stock Doom Turtle is not as fun as you might think. Perhaps it's more fun with the 155, who knows. Still, let's move on to the final game, which was probably the funnest game out of all of them. It's also the most recent game I've played as of recording this. So, here we are on Canal. It's a tier 10 game. I was not happy. There's a Sheridan on their team who's going to be firing missiles everywhere, because, you know, missiles are fun, weren't they? As if we hadn't already learned that from when they had the T49 event. And you just had all of these tier 7 light tanks rolling around derping HG missiles into people. But still, we're here on Canal. I'm going to go to where that E75 and the IS-7 is. And, well, what normally happens on Canal? Well, all of the mediums go to the D point, all of the heavies go to the A point, and the tank destroyers flitter in between. And that's again pretty much what's going to happen here. As you can see, the IS-7 has been spotted as they're trying to cap base B, and E75 has been spotted, and all of a sudden, hey, in comes a missile, and I go, what the hell was that? And the E75 has been set on fire. The IS-7 has managed to cap the base. I mean, he bounced a shot, lucky for him. I'm taking a wide berth because I know that Sheridan's going to be spotting them. So I'm taking a bit of a wide berth around here. Haven't been spotted. The IS-7 takes a shot from directly over there in those bushes in the middle of the screen. And I'm not too sure how to go about this, but instead I decide to go around this side of the piping. So there's one of the tanks over there. You've got the E75. Later on, you find out we've also got both IS-7s over there. So all of the heavy tanks are over there, and the Sheridan. There's the E75. Put a shot into his lower glacis. Very nice. Damages transmission. Yeah, that's a given. Then I take a shot from the IS-7, who's over there in the bushes, and I know he's in the bushes because of where the damage indicator told me. He doesn't have the transmission though, to damage his engine like the E75. Sheridan's going to be in those bushes somewhere, so I take a pot shot. The Death Star is over there, sitting in their base for some reason. Maybe he spawned in late, who knows. But it's just me and the IS-7 over here. There's that IS-7, who I think I actually spotted by doing that, as he's rolling around the corner, and bang, get a nice shot into the side of him. Low roll. Unfortunately, sub 400. Yeah, there you go. There's a missile into the RIS-7 because, you know, they're fun. There's the IS-7 on their team, going for the lower glacis. Managed to hit it, 413. Trying to wiggle my armour, but it's an IS-7. It's a tier 10 heavy tank. It can get through my cupolars quite easily. There's that Sheridan though, and I put a shot right into the side of him. Take that for shooting your missiles everywhere. Trying to bounce against the IS-7 again. bounce him. There's the E75. Now I'm in a bit of a tricky position here because I know the Sheridan's on the side and I don't want to get a missile into the side of my Doom Turtle, but then at the same time I've got 2 heavy tanks to my front. And there's also that other IS-7 to the side. There he is, you see him briefly. So I'm checking to make sure I don't hit into anything as I back it up. There's that E-75. Bad shot. Shouldn't have done that, but I don't think he spotted me. But over the top he comes again, so I put a shot right into the side of him. Shot goes low. There's the Sheridan, so I don't have to worry about missiles from my side, so I head forwards ever so slightly. Shot went low into that E-75, like I said. Would have liked to have damaged his ammo, perhaps, but yeah, it didn't happen. One of the IS-7s is over there. I'm still expecting the other IS-7 to be over there, so I do a pot shot over there, just in case he's not been spotted. But there he is, flanking around the side. I bounce his shot, go for the E-75 because he is side-on. Bang, finish him off. Bounce the shot from someone, and then the Sheridan's behind me. That's a 640 from the Sheridan. IS-7 comes forward, bounces. I need to get myself into some cover. I managed to put that shot into the IS-7, like I said. The Sheridan comes around the side, put a shot into him. His HE bounces. His HE bounces and impacts doing nothing, and I die to the IS-7, unfortunately. But it was still a fairly fun game. Yeah, I can't believe I bounced that shot from the Sheridan that sort of just impacted against my armour. And yeah, that's kind of the end of the battle. We end up winning, the Sheridan dies, and this guy just chases the IS-7 around the building for a bit as they do Ring Around the Roses, and I say it's not fun playing the Doom Turtle 120 because it's not really. There's those 2 low health tanks over there, and then the ending. Oh boy, the ending. I thought we were honestly going to lose this, because on goes the object, goes for the ram, doesn't kill him, puts a shot into him, backs it up, then bounces off him. The IS-7's a one-shot, manages to put the shot into the IS-7 though. Object dies, but then luckily our object finishes him off. And I was worried our IS-7 was not going to finish him off. He was going to kill off our IS-7 and then somehow beat our final WZ after all that. But after all that, that was a first class, and have you ever seen a patrol duty in a Doom Turtle? Doom Turtle is best tier 9 scout, apparently. So yeah, that was again over 3,000 damage. Only just made a credit income of 500. Still, I had a ×5 booster, so 6,115 XP. Got a whole bunch of that, and we got minor credit income as well. Top of the team, only second to our grill. 11 shots fired, 8 hits, 8 pens. Yeah, I've received 11 hits, 7 of which pen, but 14 didn't. Sorry, 4 didn't. We got a couple of good shots into that E-75. We damaged both of their IS-7s. We got some nice spotting damage apparently on one of them, which I'm quite happy about. We put the 2 shots into the Sheridan and got some assistance damage, so you know, could be worse, but again, the vehicle repairs are just as much as the provisions, plus the ammo costs a lot. The Doom Turtle is not a tank you will earn money in, I think it's fair to say, because of just how expensive everything is at this tier, especially when you're having to run provisions in order to make the tank work. But yeah, so that's sort of the stock Doom Turtle special feature. Yeah, it's not been fun to play. I think the T28 was probably more fun to play than the Doom Turtle, if I'm honest. I know it sounds like heresy, but as much as the Doom Turtle is got the oh my god, it's a Doom Turtle factor, I find it's just not as good tier for tier as the lower one. But still, you can make up your own opinions based on these games, and I'm sure people will let me know in the comments. But yes, so that was the stock Doom Turtle experience. I'll thank you all for watching, and goodbye.